Hello, Xander. Alright, I'm just going to get us started. Hopefully that's not too loud. Can we hear the game audio? Can we hear me okay over the game audio? Hello, Crusty Backer. Hello, Customers. Bear with the... Just got to redo the game source. Display capture. Evening, Steve. Right, just bear with, guys. Let's try and screen capture, not display capture, isn't it? Screen 2. There we go. Let's turn down the game audio a little bit. Hopefully that's better. Let me know. Alright, let's get going. Predminator, I do love Predators 2010. I feel like one of the few people in the world that does. But I absolutely do. It is apparent now that the mercs and colonists are working together. This changes nothing. Kill them. So, we are continuing on mission 3 of the Weyland-Yutani Commandos campaign. I'm mostly free playing this. I played it a little bit earlier just to try and figure out how to get some ammo. Not ammo, some health early on, because I was looking a little low when I tested this earlier. Oh, I agree, Predminator. I think it's underrated. Predators is underrated. I do think it's kind of squandered its potential, but I do very much enjoy it. Okay, so that clears him out, so we can get some health over here. Welcome, Sarah. There we go. So we're a little better condition there. I think we must have ended it poorly when I was playing it before. Xenosaurian, welcome. No Style Dutch, welcome. Just me at the moment. M. Gabriel, welcome as well. Army of Chi, happy Mother's Day to the Queen Aliens and females of the species. Oh, happy Mother's Day to all the Americans and whichever other regions are celebrating today. I don't actually know. Sarah wants a rundown of the Liverpool ComicCon. I really enjoyed it, actually. To say I haven't been to a convention in some time, like a general film convention like that. I can't remember the last time I was actually at one. Genuinely can't. So it was surprisingly a nice event. I really thought it was well spread out, well run. I didn't feel overwhelmed or sweltering or anything like that, which is always a potential problem at these things. So that was really nice. And I did actually really miss going to them actually after coming out of it. So I had a group photo with all the Aliens cast that were there, which was Paul Reiser, Mark Rolston, Jeanette Goldstein, Daniel Cash, Rico Ross, and Will Hope. I think that's everybody. I need to make sure I'm doing that because I got nailed by some aliens last time. Caustic Viper says, this reminds me of 007 GoldenEye, not gonna lie. It's a total conversion of Doom. Oh, balls. That shit me up. So yeah, sorry, it's a total conversion of Doom. Built using... I think it's based off of a previous total conversion that was done that shares ripped a lot of assets from Alien Trilogy, which is absolutely fine by me because I think it works to that sort of vibe of that era. And you can play it just using Z-Doom, I think that's what I'm running it off of. I've played it on a previous stream, I think back in April time. And I'm playing as the Weyland-Yutani Commandos, and my goal is to kill all the humans. Especially now that we've learned that the colonists and the mercenaries have teamed up together. We finally have access to a pulse rifle. I would like to get some more health though. There we go there. 91 lifetime 23 says, been playing Alien Resurrection on... Oh, balls, where's that coming from? It's always the danger of streaming on my own. Looking away. I don't know if I've finished in it yet though. Let's go in there. Mitch says, I thought he had chainmail gloves on for a second there. What did... Oh, yeah. No, it's just my trusty ape suit. What was that sound effect? Oh, it's a guy behind there. Interesting. watch? I can't remember. Huh? Oh, that's some nice health though. So, welcome Kaelin. Predminator says, I'm surprised still no announcement of Fireteam Elite 2. Could it possibly be a 2026 release? Yeah, I'm surprised about that too. I would have thought we'd have had that by now. I'm a little disappointed we haven't. Army of Chief says, just re-listen to your AVPR commentary. Between Eric's American accent, Adam getting steadily more buzzed and closer to a mic, it was a true treat. I love yours fan commentaries. You are very welcome and thank you for that. It's been a while since I've listened to that one. Okay, so all the pulse rifle mercs are down. I need some blinking health. It's a sentry gun up there. Sounds a bit wet for my liking.
I'm warning you.
You didn't warn me very well though, did you, buddy? I'm hoping we can do some more of the commentaries. I'm actually trying to plan an official one. You know, imitate Charles de Lozarica a little bit. That is very much in the early attempting to schedule phase, which is quite difficult. You know, just need to check the controls quickly because I can't remember if we have. Okay, we can throw flares. Why is that not set to anything? I thought I'd bound boosted. Oh, but then again, if I've got no. Oh, Aaron. D's a directional thing, isn't it? You nump it. I am you, Danny. There we go. Caleb says his bridge stop having trouble. No, he's not on yet. As far as I'm aware, I haven't heard him join the chat. Gustic Viper says, any new books after Alien Cult, or is that still up in the air? Yeah, something got announced. It was... oh, for fuck's sake. It was Perfect Organism was announced. Sizzy is supposed to be joining me, so I'm hoping he'll show up at some point. like some baddies over there. These guys are a bit trigger happy with the grenades. Kim says just saw him in the voice chat, so I wondered if he was having problems. I can't hear him in the voice chat. Oop. Oh, he's ringing me on Facebook right now. Hang on. Hang on. 2 seconds. Sorry, guys, let me just... Right, what are you struggling with? You were, but... Hang on. I'm not in comms, that's why. Okay, see you in a sec. Bye.
There we go.
Right, there we go. I wasn't in comms, that's my bad.
Oh, that's all good. That's all good. You should put the stream on here, though, so I can watch in the right timing and hear it.
Hang on. Hang on. I gotta remember how to do this.
Hey, Sarah.
You should be able to see it.
Oh.
Oh, it says this.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Alright, okay. Let's try that again, and we'll switch over to playing. Okay. Sorry. I thought I was in comms.
Nope.
Yeah, evidently not. Those are some very eager aliens.
Well, thank you, folks.
You gonna read for me then?
Yeah, I'll read for you.
Okay.
So what made you want to play this one again today? You were just missing it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'd only managed to do... Oh, balls. We'd only managed to do... Yeah. We'd only managed to do 2 missions last time. And I was actually very much enjoying it. So I was like, you know what, I wanna play.
Xenosaurian says an AVP Galaxy stream is never complete without Hicks and Ridge. Oh.
Too right. That's how we prefer it.
So overall, Aaron, as far as fan games go, would you say this is already one of the best you've played? Oof.
These are very zealous mercenaries. Yeah, I think that would be a fair assessment. I mean, it's built off the back of another TC. From what I remember, so I think there's a couple of aliens ones.
Oh, that was funny. I like that bloody leg just chunking around the corner there.
Yeah, some pretty decent gore effects. I know you appreciate a good jibbing.
I certainly do. I was raised on Quake 3, so yes indeed. And AVP 2. That game also had some good gibbon.
True.
Is it Gibbs or Jibs? Tomato.
Yeah. You know how malleable the English language is. do love the sound effects in this. Well, I say the sound, you know, like the radio chatter of.
Oh man!
Fuck's sake!
You got again.
These guys are horrendous.
Caleb says Gibbs need to make a comeback. I think people are more nervous about it because graphics have become more realistic. Like if you remember in the Grand Theft Auto Vice City days, you could just run around with a chainsaw and cut people up and stuff. But I don't think they would do that now. I think which is weird because Red Dead Redemption 2 is pretty gory. That game kind of surprised me where they brought the gore back with that. But I guess they're just worried about all the crazy weapons you have in GTA and what sort of mayhem that could cause.
I suppose all the modability as well. Because who knows what you could put in.
Sarah says, I just watched the Japanese AVP Maze video, really enjoyed it. Well, thank you. That one took a bit longer than I was hoping for. I had a written article a couple weeks back, but was glad to finally get that done. And I will be doing a wider piece comparing all 3 mazes for Halloween this year.
Which will no doubt be a fun one for you. I know how much you enjoy those videos.
You should do one. I still think you should do a ride at the speed of fright.
There's not... The problem with that is there's not much else to say other than here, go watch the video.
You could reach out to some people who are involved.
Oh, well,
find some stuff.
Yeah. I plan on doing some interviews on the podcast or something. Because I did find some for when I was looking to do our 200th episode.
That was one of your ideas?
Yeah, I think I found some of the model makers.
Oh, man. You really got to be on your game on this one. Is there difficulty select?
I don't know.
Damn.
It is the downside of human enemies.
Always. They're way harder than the aliens.
Yeah.
Well, watch that door behind you. That's where you got killed last time.
Yeah. There we go. I think... Did I already get that guy?
Caustic Viper says, I think the goriest thing from AVP I remember was the kill animation trailer from AVP 2010.
Oh, that was awesome.
I remember that. That game was refused classification in Australia initially, but they just resubmitted it with no changes, and it then got approved.
Wasn't there something about Germany as well?
I can't remember. Killam says being able to decapitate Marines with a spear gun in AVP PC was great. And Caustic Viper adds, hearing the Predator laugh when you behead them with a spear gun in AVP 2 was always very funny to me. I loved it.
I love the way those aliens just explode like that. I don't think any of the games ever really utilised the explosive tipped rounds.
Yeah, because that's definitely something you notice in Aliens is just how they blow apart once they're shot. And I think you're right. I can't think of a single Alien game that really had that effect with the pulse rifle.
That one spits acid.
Yeah.
Which is also something else that I think a lot of games never really capitalised on. Because I never thought they should be...
That was cool.
I
love the giving sounds too, just how like mushy they sound.
I never thought they should be like a separate class for ranged aliens.
That it's just something all warriors should be able to do.
Yeah, in my opinion.
I don't know, I kind of liked the addition of the spitters in Colonial Marines and then in Fireteam Elite.
I mean, I'm glad the feature is in there in some fashion or another, but I do think it is something that should have just been a, you know.
Yeah, I mean, both Alien 3 and Resurrection kind of established they could do that, but we just never saw it since.
Where's this last?
The squelch, Sizzy Bubbles says. Caleb says Australia was even harsher than Germany when it came to game ratings. I think they eased up a bit. It used to be like a lot of games were banned in Australia. Like, I think it was something like they didn't even have their equivalent of an M rating or Peggy 18 or whatever.
Peggy 18. I remember
Peggy
that
18.
in all the trailers.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, that's cute. Alright, so we've still got 2 colonists and 4 mercs left to get.
This game has quick saving though, right?
Well, I'm saving it.
Okay, yeah. Just make sure you save it. A lot in the last section. Ah!
Jesus Christ.
I'd have to say some of the best fan games I've played. Definitely Prometheus from John Yvonne.
We need to play that again on here.
Yeah, with the Covenant expansion. I'm excited to play that. Since he just released a new version of that. As well as, I'd say Hope for the Future, even though it's still unfinished, is, as far as I know, and I don't think he's updated it in some time, unfortunately. That was still one of the most well-crafted fan games I've played.
Oh god, those are fast. Ah! Fuck
More,
me. Okay, Jesus, okay.
Little Bambies.
That's... you can tell it's kind of built off the back of an older game because of the difficulty as well. Older games are far more difficult, I think. Okay, so that was that one. Oh, no. No, we want these closed. I do miss the old days of like all the custom AVP2 maps and stuff like that though. So I've always had a soft spot for the fan created content.
Yeah. I guess Under the Hunter's Moon. That might have been the first fan game I actually like played through.
Oh, but that was late in AVP2's life, that was. There's things like the fear missions beforehand and there was a bunch of other custom ones. But there was some crackers throughout, you know. Because there was... oh, what was it? There was one... like the Isle of Dead, I think, maybe? And it was kind of based on that painting and Giga's rendition of it. Don't know how dare they call me a murderer.
You need more armor.
Yeah, well, I started the mission with like 16 health. So, I was a little panicked on this one. Ooh. Though I think that was an AVP Classic sound effect there. Somebody down there. Oh, these old games, man.
No Style Dutch, good afternoon to you as well. Asked, do you ever think we will see a ridged alien in the movies again? I hope so. I'm kind of at the point that I was before AVPR, where it's just like it would nice to see them back as a change. You know, I mean, we saw them in Dark Descent.
True.
But they also had the dome-headed aliens as well.
The games, I think the games always gave. No, the AVPs did they really?
Didn't that start with Colonial Marines, where it's like the dome ones were drones, and that was a class? I know fans have always tried to work out like their different types of aliens, or one's older than the other, but I've always just been like, it's a design choice, you know. It's if the director wants ridge heads or dome heads. I still think Romulus was, even though it was mostly a dome head, it had that frontal ridge, so it was kind of a little bit of an in-between. But yes, I would like to see that come back. I think it's been long enough, and I don't think every single iteration needs to have those smooth domes. Though I like those too. Like I wouldn't say I'm one over the other.
I always kind of
crazy.
Oh,
shit! They
goodness!
Oh my! Bombed your ass.
I used to miss the smooth domes, just because of how prominent the ridges were in most of the games. But now we get like a nice mix of them across pretty much the entire EU now. I don't really have a particular preference. Film-wise, yeah, it would be nice to see them back. It has been a while now. But that said, I did really like Romulus's take on the smooth heads. Where are you, big boy? Where are you?
Mitch says, and keep your eyes peeled for little Bambies.
Fuck off!
Oh, man. Ah! You've been dying a lot here since I got on.
Come on out. Come on out.
Xenosaurian says, regarding the ending of AVPR, wouldn't there have been some sort of public backlash against the government for Gunnison being nuked? I would love to see the AVPR ridged warrior return so freaking much. Well, I don't think they will be taking the AVP films into account should we get a new AVP. But didn't the Strauss brothers talk about that? They were saying that was part of the reason why corporations took control, was because of this town getting nuked. I mean, I could honestly see it
might
as
have
like
been in Liam O'Donnell's thing. His treatment, if you remember.
Yeah, for the third one. I could see it as being like a Resident Evil thing, because there was a nuclear power plant in the town. So just like the movie Resident Evil Apocalypse, they could have just said, oh, the tower went critical. But you'd have to think some people would have escaped the town. But I don't know.
It was absolutely covered up. Absolutely. Oh. Why would you do that to me?
Yeah, No Style Dutch says the same thing. I imagine they probably came up with a cover story like a mishap at the power plant or something.
Absolutely covered up. Yeah, it was saying that they've been listening to our AVPR commentary. If you even remember doing that one.
I remember that. Yeah, I think I was drinking.
You were. That was mentioned. And yeah, it'll be nice to do another. But I was saying, you know, I'm trying to sort out that one with some proper.
Oh, the next one was going to be Prometheus. I'm going to savage that one.
Well, no, I was trying to organise the other one, if you remember.
Which one?
the one that I don't want
Or
to
do you
talk
not-
about
do you
too
not want
much.
to spoil it?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to organise one, aren't I, with people on the film.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's different.
But yes, the next one we were going to do is Prometheus. But there are many, many things for us to do. Because I've now got a new article to do, now that I've finished some other work I was doing. Those Romulus scripts.
Yeah, and I need to get that AVTR exclusive stuff done already. I'm hanging on to that for too long.
Ooh,
Caustic Viper says, "Stay frosty, Aaron. You got this." And Caustic Viper also says, "Yeah, I really like the ridged warrior design for AVTR. My favorite designs are scorched, grid, and ridged." Damn.
They are some. It was one of the infected colonists throwing his satchels around. Still 3 more mercs left for me to. Ooh, where did that come from? Oh.
Sarah says, "Speaking of preferences, you guys asked a question on whether people felt the movie TV storyline of people not having any knowledge of the alien was tired. Was there a consensus from the answers?"
Say again, sorry.
So she said, "Speaking of preferences, you guys asked a question on whether people felt the movie or TV storyline of people not having any knowledge of the alien was tired. Was there a consensus from the answers?"
Not really. It was a little bit of everybody had, well, yeah, different thoughts. I personally, so for those who might not know what Sarah means, on the social outlets, I posted a post being like, "Do you all get sick of having to relearn everything about the aliens with the characters?" So this must be our exit. Okay.
I honestly feel like Romulus did it pretty well, where it's, yeah, these characters might not know about it, so they're like, "What the hell are these things?" or whatever, but the movie doesn't have the same kind of time spent on exposition about the aliens and the life cycle as maybe older movies did.
Yeah.
So fair. I think, I mean, it would be kind of strange if it's like the Rage War trilogy, right, where everyone in the galaxy just knows what xenomorphs are. Like, that would be kind of a very different story dynamic. And I kind of have to wonder if maybe also that would take away from the fear a bit if everyone knew exactly what they were, because then people would probably have more solutions as to how to deal with them, you know.
But I'd also rather just start a story with, a bunch of characters who already know everything.
Yeah, just to switch it up.
Yeah. I find it immensely boring relearning things with characters. It's a problem I have with some of the books. Now, I kind of get it with films, because you're having to be like, you can't assume that people watching the films will know the background of the franchise.
Yeah.
Whereas with the books, I think it's silly to imagine some randomer's going to pick up one of the books.
I don't know. Some people just are into sci-fi.
I think
like, I watched Alien once, I'll give this book a chance.
I think it's immensely unlikely. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
They had that in one of the previous missions as well. I don't really use my satchel charges because I always blew myself up with them. Oh no, there's the exit.
Caustic Viper says, criminal negligence caused a domino effect of problems at the power plant, allowing a stray spark to ignite a large gas leak coming from the sewers. The resulting explosion wiped out the town entirely. Xenosaurian says, that sounds like an interesting cover story. Would the power plant cause that large of an explosion, though?
Ooh, the power loader.
Nostal Dutch says, the government should hire you to make cover stories, Caustic.
I don't think the government needs any help with
Kaelin
cover
says
stories.
they could do something like the RPG does, where people have heard stories about monsters and maybe know some things, but not the details. I'm glad people are talking about AVPR in a non-dismissal topic. That's nice. But I've wondered that too. Like, how would they cover that up? But it just seemed like such a small town too. Like, what, like a little over 5,000 people, which a town that small would never have a nuclear power plant anyway, in reality. But yeah, a town of 5,000 people. I mean, that would certainly be a big story, but we've had, you know, much bigger mass death events happen as well. So it would certainly cause some things in the lore if it was ever like taken into account. But I don't think it would be quite as huge, maybe.
I don't think.
Think.
I wouldn't think it again at anything more than just an offhanded mention about, you know, Gunnison getting accidentally blown up one day. Okay, we're missing 2 guys.
But that was an idea for my fan film, actually. Was post AVPR, an alien somehow got out of the blast radius to a neighboring town. We didn't end up going with that one, though.
Why ever not, Adam? So we've got the yellow key. Where did the yellow key get us into?
How long are these missions?
As long as it takes, basically.
I'll make sure you be saving.
I has been.
Caleb says, what do you mean the Gunnison crater? There's no town there. There never was.
It's back at the start, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Oh, these older designed games.
I would like to go to both Gunnison in real life, though, as well as Vancouver, and I will go to the actual pizza place in Vancouver because it's still open.
That is awesome.
Be like, does Ricky still work here, guys?
And they'd be like, show some fucking respect. Do you know what that actor did?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I said Ricky. I didn't say the actor.
True.
His character.
Am I gonna die if I try and... Fuck it. Oh, no, wait, no. Stairs. Kind of. Okay, we made it. Okay, so we've not been in here.
No Style Touch says, this talk is kind of making me want to watch AVPR. I actually watched AVP on Alien Day, and
just
continued on to continued on to AVPR after that, because I've seen a lot of how dare you want to predator my alien again as of late, and I'm like, guys, it's been 20 years. Some of us like AVP, please.
Many of us like AVP. Now that said, when it comes to a cameo in Alien Romulus, I just want it to be some background element. There's been something we've been talking about on the boards as well. You know what, with... Somebody mentioned it, didn't they? There was somebody mentioned aliens having a cameo in Romulus. In Romulus 2. Yes, it was the rumour. It was Thingy Snyder, wasn't it? So we've been talking about it on the boards, and I'm like, the only way I actually would accept this is if it was just something like a Predator body, or, you know, a cloaked Predator in the background, or something like that.
Let's go Concrete Jungle. Let's just have Dex show up and help out Andy and Rain out of nowhere.
That's when we have AVP 2. I mean, sorry, AVP. I don't like the idea of stealth sequels or anything like that.
They did it successfully with Unbreakable.
I thought people knew about Unbreakable.
No, that was not a news story until Split hit theaters.
No, I'm thinking Glass. Yeah, well, that doesn't count. That doesn't matter.
Well,
because...
Glass was after.
Yeah, that's
Split,
what
people didn't realize it was an Unbreakable sequel until it was.
Yeah, well, it's because it's so irrelevant to the actual plot of Split.
The little character shows up from Unbreakable.
Yeah, at the end, in the post-credit scene, they actually.
So something like that. If a Predator showed up at the end of Romulus 2, that you would be okay.
Okay. In the post-credits, yes. Because that was just absolutely irrelevant to...
He hasn't denied it. He denied the Ripley rumor, so he still hasn't denied this one.
He has only just started writing Romulus 2, though.
It's in development.
Yeah, but I mean...
It's in development.
Yeah, I know.
Beyond writing.
If it's something that they thought of, it's only a thought of. It's not actually hit pen and paper yet. We know from other people other than that guy.
Well, maybe the studio said, put it in.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah,
and
okay,
has expressed
Adam.
Willingness for the concept.
He's wrote the post-credit scene first. There you go.
I don't think it's going to be a post-credit scene, honestly. I think it's going to be exactly like he said, where it just shows up.
I fucking hope not.
I'm rooting for it.
Give the individual films their individuality.
Alien has had that for 4 films now.
No, if I like AVP, I want AVP. I want it to be called AVP.
Well, didn't Steve Aspel said like it wouldn't be called AVP?
I don't know if he said it wouldn't be called, but he said something about it.
No, he said it wouldn't be called that.
No, he was. Go find the quote just for me.
I'll find the quote.
If that is the route they're going down, though,
I thought you liked it, the natural, like, building the two up as a crossover.
Yeah, I do. I like the idea of 2 separate films leading into an AVP, or, you know, multiple separate films. DC failed for a reason with their cinematic universe.
They did it too fast?
Yes. They didn't lead up.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. I feel like they did sabotage both Justice League and Batman v Superman, because the director's cut was genuinely better for that. And I know a lot of people rag on those, and I personally liked them. I'm also not like a, you know, insane Snyder fan either, but I still feel like they should have stuck with those and not done this huge tonal shift that they were trying to do. It was just a number of compounding bad decisions with that, and we'll see if they can pull it off this time. But I think there's generally just a superhero fatigue that we see. And that's kind of an all-around thing, and both DC and Marvel are to blame for that. And it's why you're seeing movies like Godzilla and Kong and Alien and Predator do so well, is because people are into the monster stuff now, which is cool.
I'm so friggin' lost here. Left over here.
Okay, I gotta find this news post again because I don't remember what we called it.
It was in the one with all the details about.
Yeah, I know.
It's probably about a year ago.
I think it was last fall, wasn't it?
I think it was about August last year.
Oh, it wasn't quite that far back, I don't think so.
Where are you? Hiding cowards. Come out, come face me. So we got a yellow key in here. Oh, there's me. That's my face. We got a yellow key. What's the yellow key for? Caleb, the thing with that, like, I have no problem with Badlands existing within the Aliens universe because it's not using, as far as we know, the aliens. It's just using Weyland-Yutani elements. Like, I have no bother with Predators versus Colonial Marines style story, for example. I just want them to make a big deal out of a crossover. If they are going to do Aliens versus Predator, I want it to be an event, and I want them to make a big deal out of it.
Well, I do too, but I think they're going to lead up to that more by having them appear in each other's movies.
If it's only background elements, if it's like I said, a Predator body on a Weyland lab in Romulus 2, or the events of Romulus 2, you see a cloaked Predator hiding, observing, that's the kind of stuff I want to see. That's the kind of natural lead-up I feel is more organic.
So here's what Steve Asbell said. He said, it wouldn't be in the way you think, that's the thing, not in the way that it would just be called Alien versus Predator or anything like the original movies. If we do this, they'll be organically created out of these two franchises that we've continued with characters we fall in love with, and those characters will combine perhaps. But we haven't gotten to that point, and we're just not going to bang it out.
So that doesn't read to me necessarily like he's saying it'll just happen in any of the films. It not just being called AVP, it means there's a narrative lead up to it. Is my read of that.
Yeah. Well, it does make me wonder if it'll be like a team up with Deck, Thea, Andy, and Rain.
You see, that makes sense. Well, saying that without... Fuck me, where are these last two, Adam? Where are they?
You got me, man. You're the one who's been playing this.
This is why I think it took me a while to play the last mission as well. Because I was just wandering around looking for the next bit sometimes. I don't know where I haven't been in yet.
Jacoba 1122J. This is a fan alien game built on the original Doom, I believe, but also using elements of Alien Trilogy.
So I'm playing it on Z Doom or GZ Doom, one of those two, and it was built off the back of another sort of total conversion. No Star Dutch says, I think the debate here is basically, is there a problem with it being more than an Easter egg in a pre-AVP movie? I think that's a good way to sum it up, isn't it?
Yeah, but they also say, Ridgetop, I'm on your side completely, but since Aaron doesn't like the alien level in Concrete Jungle, we shouldn't be surprised.
I mean, you shouldn't be surprised that I wouldn't like alien swanning in. And again, it's out of no real problem with the concept, because I fucking love AVP as a concept. It's just out of respecting the individual creatures.
Well, that's one thing I don't like either, is it seems like people are fine with like the alien appearing in Predator, but Alien is somehow above Predator. And it's like, no, guys, I mean, honestly, Predator's had a better track record if we're going with all the movies, but I think Alien, I think it's given more depth than maybe it should, and I think it's the opposite with Predator, that people say Predator as a franchise is just mindless action nonsense, and it's like, no, there's a bit more at play there. Like, go listen to our interview with who wrote that book.
You're gonna have to give me more. Remember?
It was just called Predator, I think, with the guy that watched Predator a million times.
Oh, 2 seconds.
I can find it. You're playing.
Yeah, it is just called Predator. And a monster.
That's right, yeah.
Predator, a memoir, a movie, and Obsession.
And there's been some interesting film essays about Predator in different ways you can interpret Predator. And you know, those probably weren't the intention of the filmmakers, but I still think there's more depth to those films than they're given credit for.
The first one, definitely. You know, and I do think it is Alien fans at their worst, is when we start to see a bit of that elitism, upper, you know, stuck-up nose snobbery. That's Alien fans at their worst.
I mean, even Predator 2, like, that was pretty big for representation, I would argue. And
yeah, that's
I feel that both franchises can have deeper themes, but a lot of that is just people's examination and interpretation into them. Like, Ridley Scott called Alien a Texas Chainsaw Massacre in space. Like, that he didn't get to the snootery until Prometheus and Covenant.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was a very B movie made in an A way. So, I mean, if they do combine the franchises, I still think we should get standalone Alien and Predator stuff. Like, I don't think they should appear in all of each other's things, because I think that was one of the issues with Marvel, is that every superhero movie felt like an Avengers movie, and I wouldn't want that. But it would be cool to see it a little bit, maybe just a little bit.
Well, this is
Hey Vida, welcome. Sorry, what were you going to say, Aaron?
I was going to say, this is absolutely a new area for me, but I don't see any fucking mercenaries.
I like the vibe here with the rain and the weird alien-looking columns back there. Ooh, you found a secret.
And there's a red key. To say I was struggling for health and everything earlier.
Xenosaurian says, to be fair to Aaron, I can understand his issue with the alien levels in Concrete Jungle, even though I don't completely agree. Well, you are understood, Aaron. Those are some steep steps. Goddamn.
Okay, so I've got the red key now. But that was a secret key, so the guys aren't going to be behind here, surely.
They definitely need, like, an objective guidance system in this or something.
Okay, well there's...
It seems like you've actually killed most of the enemies.
Well, I've killed all but 2 of the enemies. Evidently. And... I'm not being bothered by any... aliens.
Hello as well. Sizzy Bubble says, Alien is highbrow, it's still a monster movie. No Style Dutch says, Predator gets unfairly lumped in with dumb 80s action, and I think that's where the double standard comes from.
Predator has a lot of interesting stuff going on in it.
It's a great example of just a complete genre bender, where it's not the movie it starts out as.
And a little bit of a deconstruction of the genre it's playing as. Oh, that was thrilling. That was a thrilling secret. Where the fuck are these mercenaries at him?
Caleb says, the downside with fan-made mods is that oftentimes they're not designed as well as regular games in terms of map layouts.
Yes. Yes.
Sizzy corrects herself. She was saying Alien isn't highbrow. And as much as I like that documentary Memory, The Origins of Alien, it definitely got a few eye rolls from me with some of their interviewees.
Well, to be fair, you know, that was interesting until it started pulling themes and stuff out its arse. The whole thing with the Greek Furies, I was like, this is absolute rubbish.
Yeah, it's like film school thesis stuff, essentially. Jacobo1122J says, also potentially using already established characters like Rain and AVP will make us actually care for the human characters without giving them too much screen time.
Yeah.
No Style Dutch says, I would love to be able to show someone the first Predator if they had no knowledge going in and getting suddenly jerked from a war movie into a horror movie.
Okay, so it doesn't look like there's anything actually that way on the map. I'm just trying to think of areas I haven't been or...
No Style Dutch says, I love the Dan O'Bannon part of Memory. After that, I usually tap out. Sizzy Bubble says, it had the I went to film school snob and they just want their theories heard. It was still an interesting documentary. I don't know. Maybe I have rose-tinted glasses because I got to see it at Sundance or whatever and talk to the director. But yeah, even seeing it there were a few interview segments where I was like, really? But I did really like the focus on Dan O'Bannon, and because I think out of all the big three of like Ridley Scott, H.R. Giger, and Dan O'Bannon doesn't get his due enough.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb says, or they'll follow the Alien tradition and Rain will be killed off screen between films.
I hope not. Right, I'm just going to launch into the next mission.
Okay. You might need to restart the stream on Discord.
No, because I share my screen, I don't share the hardware.
Oh, well, it said the stream has ended on my side.
Well, it will do on Discord.
Ah.
Oh no, that's restarted the fucking... I thought I could load the game. Okay, do me a favour. Go on the mod DB bit and see if you can find like cheats to skip that one.
Okay. What's it called?
Aliens Eradication. But no, that's why I think it's an organically good idea to have the films just follow on from individual Alien and Predator films. You know, because then you do establish your characters. You don't have to waste too much time trying to get us invested in them. Oops, best flick back over. For the walking simulator. Do I need to be in a power loader to get up that lift? No, that's that. No, because I can't get that way with the power loader.
So you can bring up the console and use the command map and then map name. That's for GZ Doom, so I figure it works the same. Let's see.
So what am I typing?
Console commands for GZ Doom. Da, 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 da.
I want to see where the bad guys are, is what I want to see. Enemy locations. But yeah, like Caleb said, this is the problem with fan-made games. I had this problem when I used to play. There was a really fun Aliens.
Okay, so you can kill all the monsters in the level, I think. Let's see.
Come on then, what's the code?
So you bring up the console.
Yep. Oh.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out here. Level control. Still can't find him, huh?
Nope. Absolutely no idea. Somehow David returned, says Caleb.
Okay, so try bringing up the console and then just type kill.
Kill.
And then in brackets do oh, sorry. Actually, don't do in brackets, just do kill monsters. Try that.
Unknown command. Does it need to be a space? Oh, there we go.
I don't know, maybe the mod doesn't.
There we go. Shotgun mercs eliminated.
Oh, did that do it?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay. Did that end the level?
No, I have to get to the exit now.
Okay, but you know where the exit is.
Yeah. Well, it's on. It actually shows me that on the map.
Yeah, they definitely need some objective or enemy direction marker if that's going to be their requirement. I think the last major update for this was 2021.
That's like Caleb said, you know, it is just a problem with older games, and I was saying, you know, there's an AVP2 map that's based on aliens, so the perspective is the perspective of you being one of the aliens that infest Hadley's Hope, and it's a similar thing where you have to kill or infect all the colonists or something like that. And the problem I had with it was finding like the last couple of colonists. So I wasn't.
But overall, you've really been enjoying this.
Oh, I've been enjoying it. Yeah, I mean, it's an undeniably fantastic and sophisticated fan-made affair. You can't not be impressed by things like this.
Charlie Hutchings says, such a great time to be an Alien and Predator fan in the past few years with so much still to come. So glad these franchises have found a new lease on life. Yeah, remember when Disney took over and we were all like worried if we'd ever see another Alien or Predator thing again.
There we go.
Sizzy Bubble says, yeah, I used to have some Half-Life and Amnesia full conversion mods. They got a little jank sometimes.
That must have took me an hour and a bit. 51 minutes.
Well, now we'll get to see you fight and probably die a lot again.
It's alright, I've got health this time though. Okay, this does not look encouraging.
Caleb says, even here we can't escape that AVP render.
That thing will be everywhere forever.
I think that's like, if you look up xenomorph on Wikipedia, that's the image, right?
Of course.
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay, what is it? What is it?
It's just the big chap suit photo.
Hold your position. Movement ahead over 100 inbound targets. Fast approaching. Observe them. Proceed with extreme caution.
Oh, you're in like a cave.
Oh no, they're fighting the aliens. That's cool.
I still can't see your stream, by the way, if you want to
Oh, it's because... Oh, fuck's sake. Hang on. The gunships are down. Move out. We need to put that ship out of commission. Right, bear with me, chat. Sorry. We need a be right back thing.
I have one. I made one. Do you not have it?
Did you send it me?
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Right.
We'll be right back.
I'll have to add it to StreamYards later. Okay, I have started streaming for you again.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no. I think all the mercs have died. Means I'm gonna have to deal with the aliens. Fuck me, what was that?
What was it, getting a bit jittery on you?
Well, no, there was an explosion within the game. I do think it's doing a very good job of being quite atmospheric. Okay, so I'm supposed to go through that hole. What are they talking about in the chat? I saw ROWLF mentioned, and you know that's got me intrigued.
All right, let me find it.
Oh, do I need to go this way? Oh, yeah.
No Style Dutch says, I still hope we get some kind of vague resolution to the Predator's loose ends. Not a good movie, but I liked McKenna, and I still want a modern set Predator movies. Well, we got that in Predator Hunting Grounds. The suit was worthless, and didn't they say like McKenna just wasn't really qualified or whatever? So he was removed. They swept it away. They just swept it away.
Stargazer was all done with. They were too corrupt.
Crawling Chaos says, about Predator 2018, I will never understand why they would approve the dogs to look like they did. Like, every species on Predator Homeworld has dreads. Stupid Predator's dogs were much better. Well, there was a Studio ADI maquette of the dogs without the dreadlocks, and they did look much better. And I think that was a late studio mandated addition for the design that wasn't intended by Studio ADI.
Yeah, that's just directors being directors. Fuck, man. my life. That is a
Both
lot.
producers.
Yeah.
Jacobo1122J says, I would love to get the Predator sequel with McKenna flying around in his Iron Man armor hunting Yacha. I'm probably the only one. They did make a cool maquette of, I think it was Prime 1 made a Predator Killer maquette that actually made the thing look pretty interesting.
I'm still tickled by the fact that Hydraulics made that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That will always amuse me.
I still think we should get the alternate cut and at least let it be judged on its merits, even though it will probably also still be terrible. At least I'll get to see my emissary boys smoking cigars.
I would absolutely watch it. Absolutely watch it. I just don't expect it to be worth anything.
I mean, in the trailer, the APC chase at least looked like a cool action sequence. It's better than running around in the trees in the dark, you know. Oh man, got a whole bunch of them there. Jeez, you're done. You're toast. Oh, maybe not. Wow, you're getting singed a bit. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, at least I know where the thing is now. I didn't save. I should have saved. Because I didn't know what I was doing. So that explosion was something up here opening up.
Xenosaurian says, yes, give us the alternate cut with both Ripley and Newt endings. They should have included those delete scenes on the Blu-ray, I'm sorry.
They have never ever been mentioned
afraid.
ever by anything official. Didn't
Kill 'em.
a lot of them didn't like the people who posted them, didn't they take them down? With a oops, we were not supposed to ever show this kind of thing.
Yeah, I believe they did, yeah. Caleb says alternate but instead of alternate cut, you know. But
Because, you know, it was poo.
you might have to play this again next weekend, Aaron, because I think I'll be driving back from Vegas.
Okay, yeah. I was going to be like, I hope not, because haven't we got thingy scheduled for next weekend, but it's the weekend after.
Yep, weekend after.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Aaron.
But it will be nice to be able to stream Rogue Incursion a bit more often without pulling out my full VR setup.
I am so surprised, yet absolutely loving that news.
Yeah, I mean the in-engine trailer was pretty impressive, and I'm sure the game will graphically have a nice upgrade given they don't have to render the image twice like you have to with VR. I'm glad they're doing it. It makes me wonder if Part 2 will have the option launched now that there's at launch now that there's an expectation of that. Which again is the ideal. Like the Resident Evil games as of late handle that so well with Village and well with Resident Evil 4 Remake it was the opposite. The VR version didn't launch until about a year later, but it was fully playable with that VR physicality you expect. But the single player game also felt like a full-fledged single player game, so without the VR. So I'm excited for it. I do wonder, because the physicality is such a focus in that, if they're going to do anything else to really flesh things out a bit more, because it might feel a bit too bare bones without the gimmick of that physicality.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still excited to play it outside of VR, and I'm glad people who don't have a VR headset will be able to experience the game. I mean, I know it did pretty well on PlayStation from what they've told us, and from its appearance on the bestsellers list on PlayStation, but it didn't seem like it did very well on Steam nor on Meta, because it was not reviewed well for MetaQuest. And even though that's the biggest install base, I didn't see too many reviews for it on its store page there, so I have to imagine it didn't do super well on MetaQuest because of that negative reporting on it.
Yeah, it is not the prettiest, unfortunately, on Quest. Somehow my severely aged PC that should not have been able to have run the game, and was able to run the game, looks better than the native Quest version.
They just, PSVR 2 was the best version, and I hope, like, the Jurassic World, I think it's called Aftermath, right? That VR game. After they released their part 2, they released the whole thing as one game with, like, extra features. So I hope eventually, after we do get part 2, I mean, they're gonna, triple and quadruple dip with this. We'll get, like, the entire story on the latest gen VR on, like, MetaQuest 4 or whatever, and it'll look way better.
I do absolutely, genuinely enjoy that game, though.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. As like the first full-fledged Alien VR game, it was fantastic, in my opinion. Oh,
Came up a different area this time. Oh no, it didn't. It's the same area.
Jacobo says, I love that we're getting a flat version of Rogue Incursion. I will actually be able to play it. I tried playing it in VR twice, was puking like a cat after 30 minutes. That was fun. I'm lucky that I've never gotten the VR motion sickness like some people have experienced.
No, it never made me motion sickness. Emergency fuel purge activated. Prepare for engine. Engines will be successfully disabled. That's what I wanted. Yeah. I never got motion sick. But I just get hot. Oh balls. Yeah, I just get very hot with my face being enclosed like that. Oh, ow.
This does make me really want a Alien Trilogy remaster, though. Oh.
Yeah, that did not go terribly great. I was always surprised we never got one back in the 2010 days. Because that was the point when, we started getting, like, all the Xbox Arcade.
Yeah.
Sort of releases, so I remember playing Duke Nukem and Doom on Xbox Arcade. Because that was, of course, when Forever was starting to come out. That was when 4 was, well, no, we didn't get 4 for a while, did we? Some have escaped into a nearby cave. Okay. How the fuck am I supposed to escape this?
Nice.
Because I feel like this is going to be a never-ending...
Xenosaurian says those red runners look horrifying. Crawling Chaos says the game being played on stream right now proves that gameplay is more important than graphics. I mean, it would still be nice to get some visual upgrades for Alien Trilogy. I mean, I personally love the Tomb Raider remasters where I can flip between old and new graphics.
I always liked that about the Halo Combat Evolved anniversary.
I mean, they can still look kind of retro. They can just maybe up-res the textures a bit. They can maybe even still keep it as like sprites instead of 3D models. Jacobo says, I still can't believe Isolation came out on PS3 and Xbox 360. Yeah, I never played it on those. I've been kind of curious about it. I guess if it can run on your phone, it could run on 360. And that was right in the cross-generation times. The consoles came out like about a year prior.
And it didn't run very well on the old gen, from what I remember.
Crawling Chaos says Alien Earth is the date still a secret. Caleb says for now, yeah, still no announcements. Crawling Chaos says weird. It's supposed to come out this year. Caleb says July, August seems likely now. No Style Dutch says apparently this is just how FX markets things. Yeah, I would say August is what's likely with Alien Earth at this point, because it's technically still summer. I mean, technically it's still summer until mid-September, but people associate August as the end of summer.
Come on, Mr. Humans, where
Oh, No Style Dutch, I promise I will watch it.
Watch what?
Rough cut of a short film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will. Have you checked that out, Aaron?
Yes, assuming it's the one I'm thinking of. Oh, where are these humans? Are they not the caves I came out of? Jacob says, I'm currently replaying Doom 2016 and it looks stunning after almost 10 years later. ID Tech 4 is a beast of an engine. Yeah, I've been thinking about replaying that one myself. And then Eternal.
I never played through the DLC of Eternal. I liked Eternal, but I kind of preferred the vibe and the combat of 2016. Like, I felt like Eternal was a bit too like, oh, here's the way you kill this enemy, and it always kind of has to be this way if you're going to kill them effectively. Whereas I felt 2016 kind of allowed more freedom in how you dealt with the different enemies. But my favorite Doom will always be Doom 3, for sure. I know most people, it's not really a Doom game. Yes, it is. And it's the best one.
Did you say 3?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I always really enjoyed 3. And I do agree, I think, about Eternal, but I still had a lot of enjoyment out of Eternal, apart from the dog bad guys. They absolutely infuriated me, and I was told they were all over the DLC, so I never bothered buying them because of it. Because they were the enemies that made me nearly rage quit the game a couple of times.
I started playing Doom 64, the Night Dive remaster of it, and that seemed pretty cool because it had like, it felt like the retro older Doom games meets Doom 3. Like, it had a darker, more horror vibe. Mm-hmm. So it felt like a real stepping stone to Doom 3 that probably a lot of people missed.
Well, it's all mentioned in the lore of 2016 and Eternal.
Right. Well, it wasn't until Eternal that you found out that the lore of Doom through Doom 64 were considered canon to that. Doom 3 was still kind of its own world and interpretation. It's not part of the new/old canon.
Okay.
Jacobo says Doom 3 is getting boring really quickly, and gears just don't work today. I don't know. I still that game. It's just the eerie atmosphere that gets me, and I think they did kind of do a stealth remaster of that they didn't make a big deal of. But if you fire it up on like consoles or PC, I think it has been updated.
Oh, I could have left that entire time. Fuck's sake! I'd killed them all.
XZeno, I hope I'm saying that right, says great stream, friends. Well, thank you for joining us.
I'm gonna get Dark Ages, but I'm not gonna get it this month.
Yeah, I'll probably wait a little bit. I'll probably do the same as you and review 2016 and play through Eternal again and its DLCs this time. Well, that level didn't take as long.
No, it did not. I love the fucking the trilogy soundtrack. Is just
yeah.
Look, there's me.
That one.
There's me. The Eradication walk is to the north. Kill all mercs and colonists in the building to the east.
Is that the H2?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, they really need to release the Alien 3 trilogy soundtrack. I mean, it took them 10 years, but they finally did for Isolation. So.
Well, you just need to put the disc in. If you just put your trilogy disc in your CD player or your PC, you can just play the music off it.
That's true, but I mean, you know, throw it on Spotify, give us a vinyl release, make a show out of it.
I never finished Trilogy.
Trilogy was also pretty difficult, like Resurrection.
I got to the last bit. I got to the derelict, or the bone ship as they call it in that, and I fucking love that as a name.
Yeah. I beat Resurrection, but only with cheats. So I hope if that gets remastered as well as Trilogy, that they give some more accessibility options. Or maybe just tweak the difficulties a bit more.
Ah! Fucking hell.
You got face hugged.
I did. Oh shit. I thought that was an instant death. Stop throwing grenades at me. Yeah, I was not paying attention then. I do like the aliens and the mercs going for each other. Oh, you know what? I might restart this mission.
Jacobo says, I mean, I love them trying to do more horror-oriented entry, but it just was not fitting with the Doom-style gun dancing gameplay. I felt myself like gun dancing a lot in Doom 3, and honestly more so in the two expansions for that, in Resurrection of Evil, I think it was called, as well as the Lost Levels. Like that, I don't know if maybe they got that criticism because it felt like I had to do more of the gun dancing and enemy dodging with those. Crawling Chaos says Dark Ages is a different beast than classic Doom gameplay. I think they were saying they were trying to look back to classic Doom for Dark Ages, like more focused on the horizontal gameplay as opposed to like jumping around everywhere like Doom Eternal really got into. Crawling Chaos says, like, Dark Ages took some Souls-like elements and merged them with the run-and-gun gameplay. Jacobo says, The Thing recently got a fun little remaster. Maybe older Alien games could get that same type of treatment. Yeah, I mean, we'd love that. The Thing remaster was handled so well, and I still need to play through that, but I started it. But Night Dive and Aspire have been doing some great remasters, so... Yeah, there's an old great catalog of retro Alien games that I think people would really be into if it was easy to fire them up and play them, and they looked a little better.
And it is something that gets mentioned in their comments, isn't it? You know, when you see Night Dive or something post something on socials, people do often throw out, you know, an Alien title or a Predator title. Stop throwing grenades at me!
Caleb says, yeah, I think he'd prefer Dark Ages to Eternal from what they've been saying, Ridgetop. They rolled back this gun needs to be used to beat this enemy stuff you mentioned not liking. Yeah, it just felt like way too like, here's the formula to defeat this enemy with Doom Eternal. And Doom 2016 didn't have that feeling at all. It's like you could handle it however you wanted to do it. But with this one, it's like, oh, you got to use the sniper to take out his 2 little bits on his back and then shoot him in the face. And if you don't do that, it'll take like all your ammo to kill him. I did love...
Did you finish it?
How self-aware... I did, yeah. I finished Doom Eternal, just not DLCs. I did like how self-aware the game was, like how you had his little like battle station crib on the space station, and he had like all these retro PC games, and he had like a PC setup. Like that shit was awesome, but it was just some of the gameplay decisions.
Could you play old Doom on the shit?
I can't remember. It wouldn't surprise me.
We're in a bit of a Nostromo-esque look here.
No Style Dutch says, Bone Ship reminds me of Blomkamp's almost was concept of the derelict being made of xenomorphs. I think it was being made of like human bones,
it was humans.
wasn't it?
Was why it was crap.
Xeno says, Doom 2016 is the GOAT. Yeah, I did love that one when it came out.
Which one's that, sorry?
Doom 2016.
Oh, yeah, that one's good.
Uh-oh.
We'll get you. We'll get you.
Ow.
Caleb says, I remember Doom 2016 had the hidden Doom levels that you could find. That was cool. Yeah, that was a really nice Easter egg.
Now, I wonder if that... Does that open any of the... It's got a big point of that.
Calling Chaos says, the worst thing I heard about the Dark Ages is that it got a bit repetitive, and that's coming from a hardcore shooter fan.
Yeah.
I am excited for... I know Night Dive posted recently, because they remastered the original Quake and Quake 2, and they were just phenomenal. And those came out in the last 2 QuakeCon events, which I've always wanted to go to one of those. And they teased another remaster coming out this year, so I'm really hoping it's Quake 3 Arena, because that was like my OG. But Quake 4, that was also a really good game that a lot of people forgot about that
I've never played
I would love
4.
to see a remaster of. You would love 4, because you love 2, and it is like the direct sequel to 2.
2 was the second game I ever actually finished to completion. The first mature game that I ever finished. I had been playing the remaster of 1, because I finished like the first. I finished the main game, and I finished one of the DLCs, possibly 2 of the DLCs. I can't remember. But no, I've been enjoying it. I'd love an Unreal remaster. You know, like the first Unreal.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems Epic is just too busy with Fortnite for anything else these days, but I mean, they were in the midst of doing this awesome Unreal project with like fan input, and it was coming along really nicely, and then Fortnite took off, and that was that, unfortunately. I know there's been some rumors with the Lovecraftian stuff they've teased in the Dark Ages, like, oh, they're doing a big Quake crossover is becoming part of the lore now. So if anyone knows that, don't put it in the chat because that would be a spoiler. But I am curious if that's what they're going to end up doing.
No, no, no! Ah! Not doing well.
Caustic Viper says, "Okay, I'm back. Happy Mother's Day to everyone." That's right. For us in the States, it is Mother's Day. You've already had yours, Aaron.
I don't remember when they are. I'll be honest. The internet tells me beforehand I'm a terrible child. I think we've just had Father's Day. I don't think our Mother's Days for a while.
I thought you already had yours.
No, we had Father's Day. I think Mother's Day is June or July.
Yeah, Father's Day is June for us.
Wait, haven't I already been in here? Oh, where are you?
Nice.
Oh, I'm nearly dead.
You don't have too much health. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what was one of the first spooky FPS games I ever played was Jurassic Park for the SNES, even though it was only partially FPS. The game turned FPS when you went inside the buildings, and it was very freaky looking. It was kind of based off of Wolfenstein at the time, but there was this music that was just so creepy when I played it as a kid.
I had the Game Boy edition of Jurassic Park. I never played the SNES version.
You should get that retro collection. That was pretty well done.
Like,
And that would be a cool thing to do with Alien. Like, oh man, like all the SNES Genesis versions of like Alien 3 and stuff. You could put on a big retro collection.
That would be cool. I would genuinely love something like that, you know. I would genuinely love it. Like I've only really played the Mega Drive version, but I'd love to get a bit more time with the SNES. I've tried the Game Boy version, but it's so I don't understand what the game wants me to friggin' do. Oh fucking hell! I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry for my language. And to
Tom says, "I'm kind of hyped as hell for that stuff. SNES Jurassic Park was awesome. Triceratops Trot, still an awesome tune."
I'm looking forward to Trespass. Is it? No, not Trespasser. Survivor.
Yeah, Survival, I guess. But there was one called Survivor back in the JP3 days that never came out, and I think there was another one called Survival that was around the time of the first Jurassic World movie that also got canceled. So fingers crossed third time's the charm for this one. But yeah, I mean, it looks like the Jurassic Park game I've always wanted, like a horror-focused Alien Isolation type Jurassic Park. I mean, I got into the park builders with World Evolution, and I'm excited for the next one, but this is the kind of Jurassic Park game that I got that tease of with the SNES one, so I would love to for this to be that kind of game, which it looks like it will be. Nice. You shotgun the hell out of him.
He dead.
Caustic Viper says, "My brother and I used to love playing Jurassic Park 3 arcade game that was in all the Walmarts during the 2000s. Yeah, that one was fun. The Lost World I was kind of partial to. And I know Sizzy Bubbles loves the original JP arcade that was just out of its mind. But the Lost World one, that was always my favorite. Probably my favorite arcade ever growing up. I was into the light gun ones a lot.
I never really got to play much light gun stuff. Like, I played some Time Crisis. Is it Time Crisis? Time Cop?
No, Time Crisis, that was a big light gun franchise. They made a bunch of those.
So I played a couple of those.
I really like those too. Time Crisis 2 was also like my jam growing up.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Jacobo says, man, we're all hoping for a new AVP movie, but honestly, I would love to get a new AVP game even more. There's too much gameplay potential or so much gameplay potential in that concept. Yeah. I think once we see the franchises start to merge in terms of like on the big screen and in the comics, it'll only be a matter of time before we get a new AVP game.
I think when we start seeing the comics is when it'll be a good indication of maybe we'll start seeing more. It is about time. I am ready though now for comics, because it feels like the comics are kind of getting to one of those natural crossover points because of things like Theta and all the various Marvel characters that have been left alive.
Would you like to see Theta and Machiko team up? Is that the next one?
Yeah. Machiko will never return, I'm afraid.
I don't know, we thought that about Schaefer.
True, yeah, but I mean, I suppose that's more... Okay, Randy Stradley and Machiko will never return.
Well, I mean, yeah, but... Oh, man. Those death screams you give out when you die are pretty brutal.
The game wants you to know you're being punished. Okay.
Xeno says, dude, I'll take Marvel vs. Predator and Marvel vs. Aliens over nothing. Yeah, there have been quite a few Marvel crossovers already.
I've been enjoying the Marvel crossovers. I really liked the first issue of Spider-Man.
Did you read Black Panther? Or
yeah.
no?
Yeah, I read Black Panther. I enjoyed it.
It was pretty good.
I didn't think it was as strong as Wolverine, but I still enjoyed it.
Avengers has one more left, right?
No, two more. I didn't even see him. Couldn't even see him. Two more.
And that's the first Aliens one. Predators had more crossovers.
Yeah,
right?
Predators had 3, 4. A fourth has been announced. So I'm kind of hopeful that... I know we've got Black, White and Blood announced. Oh, pissing out. I know we've got Black, White and Blood announced. But I would very much like to see a proper series again after this. I'm not here for you. I'm trying to kill all these pesky colonists.
Caustic Viper says, I personally believe that Predator and Spider-Man vs. Predator is a bad blood. He seems to just randomly kill
definitely.
and not just criminals.
Well, no. I think we only saw him take out gang members, I think, in the first issue. But I do think he's a bad blood. But I also love this thing of him taking alternate trophies, shall we say?
Like the face. That's not a spoiler because it's on the cover of the comic.
It is on one of them, I think. Or is it an alternate variant cover for the first one?
think so.
I could do with some help. Oh, there's some. Some more.
Kobo says Aliens versus Avengers is actually amazing because they gave it to a good writer for a change.
He's the one who's... So Spider-Man's pretty much my only actual comic that I read. And he's the one... Oh, you are pissing kidding me. And he's the one that's been writing Ultimate Spider-Man. Jonathan Hickman.
You are pissing kidding me. I like that. I'm going to take that.
You can enjoy all the Britishisms you want.
Xeno says, give us a Dino Crisis remake. I was watching gameplay of this game called Fossil Fuel 2. Looked pretty cool. First-person dinosaur horror shooter. Yeah, I am all about me some Dino Crisis. I would love to see that. Man.
I enjoyed seeing those heads come pop down. You deserve it. You all deserve it, you civilian scum.
Looks like we're going to be getting another alien skin for Dead by Daylight, which is nice. Looks like a roach alien, honestly.
Ah! Where you got? There you go. I'm kind of surprised we haven't had Predator yet, still.
I think it's only a matter of time. I know they just had a big anniversary stream, and they're doing Five Nights at Freddy's this summer, which will be probably their biggest chapter ever. I think Predator's coming. It's maybe going to be next year, maybe going to be late this year, but it's coming.
Or would we? Or do we get a surprise sort of drop on when Badlands or Killer of Killers comes out?
Dead by Daylight usually doesn't do the surprise drops. They'll usually have like a roadmap, so you pretty much know when you're going to get a licensed killer.
Fair enough.
They did just announce their next new roadmap, but I think the next big licensed killer in the fall is 2 survivors, so unless they have like Dutch and Naru or something, I don't foresee that being Predator. But I still think it's going to happen, if not sooner than later.
That's so satisfying. When they just
chunks.
explode like that, yeah.
Calum says November is the earliest Predator could possibly be since they just showed this year's roadmap. I mean, November would make sense if it was timed with the movie. I do wonder how Hunting Grounds would feel about that.
Well, it'd be nice if they do actually drop something for the celebration. This is where you're going to tell me they are, and I forgot.
Well, I'm not saying anything. Can't say anything.
Okay. So take from that what we will. I've always been a little disappointed that we didn't get more regular drops and timed.
Yeah, well, I know that lawsuit really tripped him up,
Yeah.
but I mean, they've been consistent, at least with the Predators this year. It's been about 1 DLC a month.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Have we had 4 drops this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because there was Anubis, Exiled, Gladiator, and Witch. So yeah, there's been 4.
Wow, that is flown by. Do I want to be up here? I don't know. Yeah, that's absolutely flown by. Oh, no. No way.
Or not exiled, exalted. Already had exiled.
Be nice to get some sort of more lore.
Caleb,
Really
those
cool.
survivors you're talking about, Walking Dead, that's already been confirmed. They pretty much confirmed it, and an image has been shown from it.
Oh, you dickhead. Came behind me.
Because I guess, like, Matthew Cote was saying, like, we've been teasing the next Survivor chapter the whole stream, and people found these, like, letters that were hidden in the stream, and it typed out The Ones Who Live, which is the name of that Walking Dead spin-off show, so I guess it's going to be Rick and Michonne. For those who still care about The Walking Dead.
I assume people do, since they keep making these crossovers. Not crossovers, these spin-offs.
Xenoplays, hello. Says hello, hello, happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day. Oh, it's going to be from that stupid vent, isn't it?
Yep. You good? Oh, nope.
I feel like that would have been deadly in the cinematic universe. You know what? I'm saving it there.
Damn, he gunned you down. Jacobo says, what was the best Marvel, Alien, or Predator comic for you? For me, it was Thaw for sure. I think Predator has had a better track record than Alien so far with Marvel. Maybe the second Predator comic is the best for me from Marvel. As far as Alien goes, probably Thaw if we're talking standalone. But I think Black, White, and Blood, if we're just judging Utopia, then that's probably the best.
I think even counting all the other shorts in that. Black, White, and Blood's still fantastic. Not just counting Utopia. Otherwise, I do agree. You know, Thor is probably the best of Marvel stuff, followed by Descendant.
I thought Descendant just fell short, honestly.
It did. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as Thor. Philip Kennedy Johnson's stuff. I mean, it was kind of hamstrung by having a Larocco involved, but I didn't feel like any of that quite was interesting enough.
The one he did with the androids with the new artist.
Yeah, that was the best one.
Like that one.
Yeah, that was the best one of his.
I liked the story, especially the location of bloodlines, but yeah, the art was just a big problem. Oh, oh shit! It did give us xenomorph goats though,
Yeah.
or rams or whatever.
I did kind of think they might have had an interesting thing going off if they'd have been consistent around this idea of the genetic traits carrying down. But it wasn't consistent and it made no real sense, so it was a bit of a letdown for me.
Hmm.
You know, like the idea that Cruiser's the alpha was a goatish alien because it came from a goat hive, that kind of thing. But no, it didn't carry through.
There is a Disney stream or event or something for their upcoming movies and series. I think next week. I think it's Tuesday. So, and on the teaser image for that stream, it specifically shows Alien Earth. So I think we should all be expecting an Alien Earth something next week to be timed kind of before the Vegas event.
And the London event coming up as well. London gets an event.
That's right. That's the weekend following, right?
Yeah. So not this
weekend
weekend.
after
Weekend after.
But it's not Sunday, is it?
No, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because it's
The Alien event thing is all 3 days.
yeah, because it's taking place at London MCM.
But we have that live stream on Sunday. We're doing, right?
Yeah. 28th.
Okay, so you'll be back by then.
Well, I might not be at the London thing anyway, so.
But I mean, we wouldn't be streaming until your evening anyway, I guess.
No.
So.
Okay, so we've lit that up. Can we get back on there? Yeah.
But I think you should go, man.
Yeah, well, if it weren't for, you know, the convention that I'd already paid for and all
You're
that
gonna
jazz.
get your fill of Stargate with 2 days, I think.
No. I've paid for it. If Jack's going, and if he tells me it's something interesting that's different to everything else, then I might bail and go.
So, okay. Is he gonna report on it for us?
Yes,
Paul?
again, if it's significantly different and interesting. So have we done pretty much the interior of here?
The Trashed Picture Show says if Night Dive could only do a remaster, which one would you pick? Alien Resurrection or Alien Trilogy? That is a tough choice. I would pick Resurrection because that was the first survival horror shooter for Alien, and I think if they were to adjust the difficulty and boost the graphics, that would get a whole new lease on life.
Yeah, I think
as much as I love Alien Trilogy and I would like both, Resurrection would be my choice.
Trilogy's just not as interesting, I don't think, as Resurrection is. So I completely agree there. I would say Resurrection. Is that supposed to be some sort of bridge over there? Let's see if we can get to that. What looks like a bridge. Or a corridor or something. Although I think if I was ever to, you know, if I had a choice of games, I definitely do just want another AVP.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way we came, isn't it? So we want to go back. Okay.
Yeah, if they were like, oh, you could have one new game of anything in the franchises, what would it be? No matter what, I would be like AVP3 or AVP4 from Rebellion.
Oh no. What's this?
You gonna try and beat this level, Aaron?
Yes, and then call it quits.
I'm gonna get a drink. BRB.
Okay. I'll wait for Adam to get back chat before I start bringing things up, sorry. I can't remember if this was supposed to be LV426. Because were we playing in Hadley's Hope to start in the first mission? I can't remember. So I can't remember if that was...
Okay, back.
You're back. I saw some comments about Gary Derderin and Raymond Cruz in the comments.
That was by the Trash Picture Show. Says it's funny that Raymond Cruz and Gary Durden are credited for doing voice work to the Alien Resurrection game, but it only amounts to grunts and squeals of pain. See, there was an earlier version of Resurrection that hit the internet. That was, I think, when it was planned for PC and it was third person, and it's playable. So that's one we've been meaning to do a video on our live stream.
Doesn't that one require a bit more fannying about to get working?
Maybe. I think it's just a PlayStation emulator, so it shouldn't require any more work than playing Alien Trilogy or Resurrection. Oh, the slippery one. There you go.
Not heard from any humans from wow. Proper cornered me there. I'd still like to get our hands on that old Clone Marines build. The PS2, the Czech 6 one.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wasn't ready to throw that amount of money at that seller, but I'll always regret just not buying that, but who knows if I would have received it or whatever. I don't know.
Was that off eBay, or did you ever actually reply?
It was on eBay. I was just kind of looking for extra assurances that it would work, because I needed a dev kit to get it to work apparently, so I would have had to have found a PS2 dev kit to get it to work. But then he just pulled the listing and I never heard from it again. I tried reaching out a few more times, but...
Shame, because we'd be in a better position to do something about that now.
But he wanted like $500 for it or something, so I was kind of like, I need to be sure this is gonna work.
Hunter says the lighting for this is impressive. It is.
Bluey.
Okay, I do think her face is still not around. Ah! I do think I'm getting my proverbial proverbial money's worth out of this.
No, I've been impressed for sure. Xeno says, anyone remember AVP Extinction? We did. We certainly did last year. We did an anniversary podcast on it with some of the developers and had some artwork commissioned, and we celebrated that.
That podcast was so fun. Learned some lessons in that, didn't we?
About us thinking, why didn't you guys just do it better? And we didn't ask it like that, but you know, sometimes the explanation is, yeah, we should have. But time, money, publisher demands.
It's just, you know, it's interesting to know about the realities that they were facing back then.
You're gonna get yourself killed. Woo! Well, maybe not. You got them all. Nice. Just gotta get the mercs. Something's wrong with that. Oh,
I was gonna say. Where are you? Go on. Go and kill him.
so tense. Face everywhere.
Too scared to go anywhere. I'm scared out of.
Oh, you got this. You're fine. Just don't shoot any exploding barrels that are right in front of you. Like that one.
Well, that's where the way I came in the other way the first time. Two mercs left, and I think I've explored near enough everywhere.
You want to use your cheat again? Kill them.
Looks like there's a little bit over in that last bit we just came from that I haven't explored.
Xeno says, I gotta say, guys, this game is pretty hard. It does look a little difficult.
Maybe Adam would have an easier time with it. You gotta remember, I'm not that good of a gamer anymore.
Yeah, you are.
I used to be.
I mean, you beat Dark Descent on hard. That's
I did.
still got to get on my level and beat Isolation on Nightmare, though.
Done it on the what was before Nightmare. Was that hard?
Mm-hmm.
I've done it on hard.
You gotta do Nightmare. I know you beat AVP 2010 in Nightmare.
I have, yeah.
We still gotta find a way to beat Fireteam Elite on Insane.
We're trying.
We have one campaign left.
I can't get through that.
Xenoplays says, Alien Isolation Nightmare Club, fist bump. Oh, you've done that one too, huh? We definitely died a lot doing that one.
Have you done it with the no deaths?
I did that one on a lower difficulty because I got the platinum trophy for the game on PS4, but
Oops,
yeah,
did
doing
not
it
mean
with
to do
no
that.
deaths on Nightmare would be very difficult.
Right, yeah. Oh, I can't remember how we get out of this. Oops. You know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to run around. I don't want to run around on here.
Did that kill him?
No, was it kill monsters? Oh, fucking hell, Aaron. Was it kill monsters or kill monster?
I think it was kill monsters. But are mercs monsters? That's the question. Let me look back at the thing here.
Oh no, it just say.
You can do kill class. Let's see. So kill mercs, I guess you could do.
You know what? I'm going to leave it here. And I'll come back to this and do it off stream.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be wandering around too much. Like we said in the last mission, that's the downside to these fan-made things. Is they are fan-made things, they are not professional-made things. So there is some occasional unease of use. But
It was
no,
done pretty damn well, though.
I still really enjoy it. And to be fair, I'm only a little bit conscious of it because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to spend 20 minutes running around on a stream looking for people. But no, I enjoy that. I think it's a really good effort, and I'm glad to have discovered it.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Indeed. Pleasure as always. I guess I'll continue this next week then if you're flying. Is it LA next week?
Nope, Vegas next weekend.
Vegas, that's what I meant, sorry. So yeah, you're going to see the new Alien Earth activation or wreckage site or crash site or whatever we want to call it.
Yep.
So you'll have some fun bits for us, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see if it's anything new. It sounds like it will be at least a little bit new.
Fingers crossed. I really hope it is. I don't
mean,
want
just
it
the
to be a
wording from
repeat.
the announcement.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
So we should also have our next podcast up at some point next week. Are you going to stick around after to record the in and out with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
So that should be up early to mid next week. And that's a discussion with the chap who organised the event that Adam did at Servios. And we talk about that. We talk about interactive experiences and various bits like that, you know, like the things Adam's been doing it with the Alien Earth stuff. It was a pretty interesting discussion, to be honest. I didn't really know what to expect when you suggested that, but no, it's turned out to be quite interesting.
Oh, so that's finally going live next week. Nice. I'm excited for people to listen to that one.
Yeah. And then we've also just recorded our next Patreon episode. So that'll be the next podcast I work on for the Patreons. But I've also just finished transcribing the Alien Romulus scripts that I had access to. So I'm also now going to start working on a script-to-screen article and video to go up alongside those scripts. So once that's done, that will be up. So plenty.
Nice. And I will get on that AVPR exclusive that should have had done already.
How long ago did you buy that? 2 years?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Caustic Viper says, thanks for streaming today, guys. Love the experience of just chilling with you all and talking about our shared interests. Yes, it is always something we look forward to as well on Sundays. So glad we could do this more on the regular, and thank you again
we've only
all...
missed like what, 1 or 2 this year.
Yeah, we've been pretty consistent this year.
I'm impressed with us. I'm impressed.
And thank you, Hunter, for that. Yeah, hopefully. I just threw up a YouTube video the other day about the AVP maze at the Japan Halloween Horror Nights. So if you feel so inclined, check that out. Would love to know your thoughts.
Indeed, he did a good job on that one. And I think that's everything then, isn't it, boyo? So, thank you everybody for joining. It's always fun chatting with you, and